Hello YouTube and welcome to another review, and this time we have the AIRFIX 132 scale World War II US infantry. That's American infantry. This set came out as well in about the 70s. Gone through numerous box art changes. I always thought these were US Marines because of the picture in the background, but no, they're infantry. Interestingly enough, these do most of the poses directly transcend into the 172 scale box, but there's extra poses in the 172 box, which is actually quite a good set. But the 172 box is named as US Marines. And to be honest, they get away with that because the uniform, I think it's an ETO jacket they wear. So in an aspect of later war, the uniforms aren't so much of a problem. You can work with that. So US infantry or US Marines, you'll just about get away with it. But on the 172 side of it, they've got some very good poses in there, especially a guy lying down throwing a grenade. There's a couple of misshapen, mis-scaled pieces in there, but aside from that, it's a cracking kit. And I've had 172 and 132 with these guys, and the 132s I've used a lot of just to fill the void where AIRFIX just didn't have any real British infantry till later. And likewise with 172 there was no British infantry really to speak of, so I filled the void with the Marines. So let's have a look at the box. So standard fare here, they've kind of got the colourings right. It's not too bad. I'd say if anything I would have had darker trousers and a lighter tan jacket for US infantry. However, you know, you can do a better job than what's actually shown on here. And then on the artwork it kind of contradicts itself. They're in green, which it's not a massive problem. It's more kind of US Marine-y looking to me, but I think they're trying to show a kind of D-Day front on this one, so but you know, I still think they probably wouldn't be dressed like that. However, there you go. He's probably holding an M1 Garand, and he's got the old grease gun. Not bad artwork, you know, kind of purposeful, and at least it is saying that this is what you're actually going to get in the box. So unlike a couple of the other boxes, which was just slightly cheating. Once again, we have 14 figures of various poses. I will say I only got 13 in this box, so I was slightly annoyed to say the least. There's definitely only 13 in this box. Contents may vary from those illustrated. We've already gone over that. And 1 flying hours and no glues or paints included. So here we have our kit. Now this is what I mean about the paint job. So on this one it's too light, but it's going the right way. It should be more of a tan jacket, slightly more of a khaki brown, and the trousers probably should be a little bit darker. He's obviously carrying an M1 Garand rifle. He's got an M1 carbine, and the officer there, you know, with his pistol, it looks like a Colt. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Spats, which was pretty general for the American troops. I think they were a bit awkward to fit, to get on and off, from the information I've received. Obviously I've got no idea, I haven't tried them myself. Spade and stuff like that, obviously that's a trenching tool, so you know, they've got a little bit of equipment on them, probably slightly more than what the British did. Main problem with this kit is lack of poses, so it suffers from the same as the British infantry, on that scale, and I think the German infantry pretty much the same. There's just a lack of poses really, which is a shame. So let's have a look at the figures. Here they are, standard fare. You have the warning on the packet, and yeah, keep away from children. So let's have a look. So who to start with? Let's start with this guy. Right, this is who I used to call Bazooka Charlie after the bubblegum. Really awkward figure. He just barely stands up on a flat surface. When I was a kid and I was on carpet, I mean, I had to lean him against things and stuff like that, so always been annoyed they never put a base on this chap. He is difficult to sort of stand up, so just be wary of that. That said, there's a nice bit of detail on there. He's got a sidearm just in there. Obviously bazooka, I'm not too sure on what type that would be, so forgive me on that one. You know, the mold quality in this area isn't exactly great, but you know, it's fair enough. It is fair enough. I'm not too, you know, I've never liked this figure. He's great because he's got a bazooka, so he was very important to me in the kit when I was a kid. You know, but just a bit of a naughty figure because it didn't come with a base. So don't expect too much from this one. He's really, really awkward. Moving on to this chap here, so he's got an M1 carbine. It looks really, really small. I mean, the M1 carbine is small. This looks, you know, just a wee bit dainty. You know, I mean, if I was in a firefight and someone handed me this one, I'd be extremely worried. But so I think just a slight scaling problem there, but he is a nice figure, this one. Lovely pouches on there, which are great. He's got his trenching tool here, another little pocket there, water bottle, injector pin mark there, nice creasing, spats. There's good a bit of detail on him, and you know, just really like the helmet's good on this one. I mean, he's got a bit of a mole line right through the middle of it, but it's a nice helmet, and you know, it's just the way they've got good lines here into the face, so he's a really good one. And I'm probably being overly critical with the rifle, but you know, to me it's a cracking pose and much copied by other sets. You know, they've all had a go at this one, so really nice figure. So we'll put him to one side. That's the bazooka guy falling over again because I've moved him. So here we have a bit of a favourite from the kit. So this is the guy with the Browning main machine gun. I mean, you can pretty much tell what that is. Only bad point with this one is he hasn't got a guy putting the bullets in, so you know, it's just one of those, but that's a common problem. At the end of the day, when you're a kid, you don't mind. You just think, oh yeah, I've got a machine gun, and you know, that's great. So trenching tool on there. We've got a little bit of detail on the underside. He sits well on the floor. He's flattened here for that purpose. Not masses of detail on the gun, and you can see I've just got a little bit of a problem because it's a little bit buckled at the end, but you're not talking masses of detail on that. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a bit of detail, but I think it's just a bit of moulding really that's gone wrong. But you know, it's a purposeful piece, nothing really to shout about. shall we do next? It won't take me long, this one, because like I said, there just isn't enough poses to here's a very, you know, I mean, this is the pose I remember the most out of this kit, and this is the guy with the grease gun. Really well detailed there, and that's why I've always thought this set's US Marines. You can see his t-shirt there, and that would paint up. I would have painted that as a US Marine, but it says US Infantry on the box. I do think these were originally thought as US Marines, I really do. There's his magazine pouch, and yeah, much copied figure. I've seen these in, you know, the Chinese copies that you get, so, you know, when I was a kid. But he's nice. He's a really good, purposeful figure, and you know, he looks like he's laying a few rounds down there, so he is quite nice. We then have our guy who's crawling along there. I've never liked this guy, mainly because he's very boring looking. It's just really boring. He's just crawling, and that's it. That's the best I can say. And the unfortunate thing is, you'll get a few of these in a box, and especially in the 172, you'll get a few of these, and it was rather annoying because he's not firing. He's just literally crawling along. He's not really interesting because he has no equipment on him, bar this trenching tool. So, you know, he's a little bit of a disappointing figure to me, but there's nothing really wrong with him. It's an easy sort of sculpt, so, you know, that one is not impressive. This one is another of the all-time classics that I remember as a kid. He's got his M1 Garand. He's running. This figure was very much copied by the Chinese sets, but he's a good solid figure. I quite like him. Nice creasing on the jacket, good detail, nice helmet and face sculpt in there. So I mean, to me, he's good. You know, he's a good figure. Yeah, pocket there, trenching tool, water bottle, creasing, good spats. You can see those there. Very nice. Much copied. Much copied. And next, finally, is the officer. I am told there is two sort of separate mouldings for this guy. There's one where he's actually leaning more forward, and there's this one where he's a bit more vertical. I don't quite know what happened there. It's just what I read. There's quite a good AIRFIX 132 site online. Chap who's got it up there. It's worth a look, and you know, just leave any comments and stuff, just saying how much you appreciate his site, because he's got lots of information on there about the figures that we all know and love. And that's 132 AIRFIX. Just type that in, it'll come up. But yeah, he's a nice figure. I mean, AIRFIX do a good job of the officers. You know, there's not really many bad ones. In terms of other sets, I mean, what we had the matchbox sets, which they're German infantry, they're American infantry, and the US infantry were not very good mouldings. I didn't think the sculpt was very nice. They just looked a bit distorted in the posing and things like that. They weren't very good. And yet they'll turn out some other fantastic sets like the 8th Army, the Australian infantry. You know, they will turn out some good sets. So, but you know, your AIRFIX definitely your main staple back in the day. And I mean, these ones are holding up very well. Yeah, I mean, he's a good. You know, I quite like the US helmet. Is done very well. So this one again, you know, quite good. I'll give this set good marks. Just the pose now. I mean, that's it. I'm done. You know, there's no more. Obviously, we've got the repeats, but that is it. So, verdict on this one. I'm fairly happy. Obviously, I don't think you get as many in the box as what you used to back in the day. But you know, in terms of what you get on this, the only problem with this one is your bazooka guy who just doesn't want to stand up, lack of posing, you know. But seriously, apart from that, you're talking it's a good solid enough set. I haven't got any issue with it, except the couple of gripes. But yeah, they got away with this one. Lack of equipment, things like that, but they got away with this set. And Legacy, I think you could use this as a US Marine set. The 172 one, it does say it's a US Marine set, and you'll see a lot of the figures are very similar, so identical, just transcended directly to 172. So, but the 172 set does have some great poses in there, and it's worth a look. So that was the AIRFIX 132 scale World War II US Infantry. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.